Okay, so we're live right now, but we're just gonna be testing some audio and getting kind of waiting a bit for people to come on. Yeah, so if I'm looking away from the screen, that's why. I'm just kind of quickly testing. Let's go over here. Henry, are you there? Can I hear you?
Test, test, test. Can you hear me? I am speaking. We did have some technical difficulties earlier, so hopefully everyone can hear me. Can you hear me okay, Sean?
I can hear you quite well. And when I go over to the live stream, we'll see when people start coming in. If anyone hears anything or doesn't hear Henry or can't hear me, please let me know. Yeah. Okay. I'm on my test device. I'm also hearing everybody saying they can hear us.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you everybody for coming. Tim, David, Bobby, Alan. Great to see everybody. I'm going to turn off my test device because having a test device in your ear is very distracting. Okay. Great. Awesome. Henry, how you doing?
You know, I was gonna get ready to brag to the rest of the country how great Victoria's weather is, and of course I look out my window and it is now snowing. So that seems fair. I think
Yeah.
all the smugness from the West Coasters finally caught up with us, and now it is snowing, and hopefully it does not stick around very long. But aside from that, I am doing pretty well actually. Yeah, we've had some really good improvements into the game. Liv, I'm looking forward to talking about. We got a really cool live stream. I think this might be our most exciting in terms of trivia.
Yeah.
So I hope players from all games have joined us. And if you have, welcome. And if you're not here, we wish you were.
Yeah, so I guess I'll start there. As many of you know, people who've coming in early here, we do trivia at the end of the show. And so today we have 10 questions in total. But how trivia is working today is slightly different. So when you win a trivia question, when you answer correctly, if you're the first to answer, you'll win. And when you do, we'll actually message you and we'll say, hey, we'd love to get your account ID, and then we'll add the winnings. But we're also going to allow you to pick one friend, your Valentines, if you will, to also win 50 FP. So what that means is out of the 10 questions, each one we're giving away up to 100 FP. So it's 1,000 FP we're giving away from trivia. And how we've broken out the trivia is it's going to be themed, and I have thrown in one question from each game just to really spread it out there a little bit, just to help. The theme is going to be Valentine's Day. Surprise, surprise. I'm sure many people could have guessed. But yeah, that's what the theme is going to be.
Certainly a surprise to nobody.
Yeah. Brush up on your Valentine's facts, like fun fact. Oh gosh, what's a fun fact? In Finland, it's known as Friends Day, not Valentine's Day.
Aw,
yeah,
cute. I like that.
Yeah, it's a fun little bit. I'm gonna take off my glasses here because it looks like I'm getting a lot of glare from that light. And this should fix it.
See your notes though.
Maybe. We'll see. If I can't, then I'll just put it back on. Problem solved. Yeah. Okay, so we're getting close to 12 o'clock. We're gonna start in a little bit. Before that, I figured I was gonna ask Henry, how's your planning for Valentine's Day? Are you all caught up?
I think we've got a couple of ideas. Yeah. Kyla's birthday is around Valentine's Day, so we always try and combine that. So we've got a few. There's we can't exactly do too much, but we've got some secret plans going. Hope she enjoys them.
Great. You are one step ahead of me. That's for sure.
Well, we're done. I
got a couple days. I'll figure it out. Okay, so it's about 12 o'clock. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit that little intro stinger, and then we're kind of gonna get started into it. We're gonna maybe go a little bit slower in the beginning, and then also trivia because we want some more players to trickle in. Then we can have a bigger trivia for everybody. So for now, I'm gonna hit that good old intro stinger. Just a moment. Hello. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Sean, and I will be doing the live stream today with the wonderful, the lovely Henry. Henry, how you doing? Say hi to the people.
Hey people. Sean, it was a photo finish whether I was even going to be on this live stream. We players, we had some technical difficulties that were almost funny because we would test it out about an hour ago and it was fine. And then we tested it again 15 minutes later, and nothing was fine. And then we sort of, huffed and puffed and went in the corner and had a think, and then it worked again, and then it didn't. And I think it's working now. So if you can hear me and hear us, please let us know, because at this point, it seems like it's a coin toss whether the audio feed is going to be working properly. So as long as it is, I'm great and happy to be here. And thank you all the players who have joined us for today's live stream. It's going to be a very exciting one. We've got Valentine's Day coming up, Sean.
Yeah. And Henry, you were right. It seems every time I close the live streaming program, something goes sideways. So hopefully that is no longer the case. So I guess obviously we're doing a live stream here in preparation of Valentine's Day. We're having a few events for Valentine's Day. So everybody can consider this a warning to get ready for your flowers, your chocolates, your gifts, whatever you're getting. Now's a few days reminder for you before, V-Day, before it happens. Great. It appears to be working. Awesome. So if you guys have any questions, by the way, so what I'm trying to do, as we're getting more and more used to doing live streams, I've been trying to answer some questions live. So if you have questions about the game or you have feedback you want to give, please put it in the comments, and I will try to be reading through them and answering as best I can, while also adhering to like a bit of a time limit and also the rest of the list that we have going on here. So first thing, I'm going to outline the trivia rule set. We are having a new trivia, or a bit of a special trivia today. So what we're doing today is we have 10 questions in total. Each question is worth 50 FP, and if you win, you can also choose one friend to win 50 FP. The winners are always picked on a first-come, first-served basis, so whoever answers the question first. And we also say that you can only win once. So if you've won a question already, you've won your 50 FP, you can't win again. However, if your friend wins and chooses you, that's fine. So get your syndicate mates, get your Armada friends, get your guild members, because if you all win, you can tell them all to pick you. You can bribe them with some raid clearing.
This is really exciting, Sean. This is such a great idea. We've never done anything like this before, and the way it'll work is, as usual, we'll pick our winners, and then whoever wins, we'll reach out to, or you reach out to us. Sometimes we get to you first. Sometimes you're so eager you get to us first. And you'll just tell us what the ID is of your friend. There's no criteria. The friend can be on a different game, or on a different server, or whatever. We're not placing any restrictions on there. Perhaps all 10 of you pick the exact same person. Maybe this one person is a very lucky, friendly person. It doesn't matter. We're not putting any limits on there. But the usual rules for the winners of the trivia apply. And I can't stress this enough. It doesn't matter who you see answered first. It's who we see and who answered first. Sometimes the feed comes in a little delayed, and it'll appear that someone answered first, but on our end, we're going to pick the first winner unless they've already won. So if you write in saying, hey, I answered first, you will be met with a very polite door slam and say, no, you did not. Thank you very much, and we appreciate you watching.
You are correct in that, Henry. So we found that Facebook will always prioritize your own message. So if multiple people sent in within like a very short time, Facebook will always put yours ahead. So to you, it always looks like you were the first one, but to us, it just comes in as they come in, Okay, so with that intro out of the way, we've chatted about the trivia that will be coming up at the end of the show. I guess the first one to say is we are having a Valentine's Day raid for LCM. It's coming up. As many of you know, to go along with the Valentine's Day raid, we have two events for you. One is the Valentine's Day sale. So here for the sale, so if everybody knows, you can purchase some FP. When you do purchase FP, you get some bonus items with it as well. You can also purchase regular FP as you normally do, and you can even gift FP as you normally do. And when you do, you gain bonus items based on when you purchase those FP. How much FP you get more items. Also, if you gift it, the recipient of the gift, your Valentine, they get the bonus items. And the sale will be across all the games. So each game has their own different sale. This one here on screen is the Mob Wars one. And yeah, that'll be going from, I believe tomorrow at 9 a.m., but it ends at midnight on February 14th. So it ends on Sunday at midnight. So that's just slightly different than usual, but it's just something to be aware of for everybody who is picking up the sale. If you're waiting on a kind of a Monday bonus, it's not happening. Pick it up Sunday. Yeah, that's the sale. And then with the raid, you can pick up FP, you can take down some sales, you can join with your Valentine or your friend and go ahead and take down some raids together. And while you're doing that, Henry, we're going to be having the the piggy bank coming back for this Valentine's
Woo!
event. So the piggy bank, we've had it a few times throughout the year. I believe we started it first in, was it 2019 or 2020 when we first had the piggy bank?
I think we first had it in 2019. It might have even been 2018, actually, late 2018. It's been around a couple times now.
You might be right. So the piggy bank's been around for a little bit, but we always do. We've been trying new iterations of the piggy bank, right? Just try and get it to a place where players really enjoy it, and then we also really like having the event. And so what we've had is the last one was was Black Friday, and that was a great event. People loved the piggy bank, so we're bringing it back in that form. So what that means is, along with the raid, along with the sale, we're rolling out this piggy bank feature. And while the piggy bank is going on, what happens is every time you use favor points, or UN if you're in Zombie Slayer, a portion of what you spend gets added to the piggy bank, up to a set amount. Once you've reached the limit of that set amount, you can break open the bank for free. It's free, mind you. So you break it open, all that FP, portion of the FP you've spent has gone into the piggy bank, you break it open, and then you get all that FP back. Once you break open the piggy bank, it starts leveling up the more you break it. And as it levels up, it can hold more and more and more until you can break it again. So it's a way to basically get back FP that you've used while you're going through the raid with your friends. And then, you basically start getting more and more FP back every time you break it. And it's one of our more popular events, along with some of our other raid events. Like we have the raid shop that players really like. And so this is one where, we try, when we have kind of raids every month, we try and roll out some kind of event for you guys. And
something to keep in mind also, Sean, we don't get this too often now that players seem to be used to the feature. It's going to function the exact same time as last time. It might have a little bit of a makeup job on there. It looks really cool. It might be blushing. But the key thing is to remember is to make sure you break the piggy bank before the end of the event. We get the occasional player saying, hey, I had a bunch of FP in the piggy bank and the piggy bank expired. Can I get that FP back? And the answer is no. So make sure this is a timed event. So you want to make sure that you maximize your potential for gaining FP, and we won't be able to bonus you any leftover FP in the piggy bank. The piggy bank just vanishes. So keep that in mind as well.
That is an excellent reminder. And the piggy bank actually will end on midnight on Monday. So you have until then, and it's Pacific Standard Time. So it's our time zone here. So just a reminder, like Henry said, make sure you collect it before the event ends. That is the event is the Valentine's Day sale, the piggy bank. We have the raid coming up. And then other things we have is we've recently, if a lot of you have been playing on the mobile app, I would recommend kind of downloading, making sure you're up to date, because we've rolled out a host of bug fixes and performance upgrades for the mobile app. And some of them were around, we have the new header that a lot of you have probably been utilizing. So we've made some adjustments and fixes, and just basically improved the performance to make sure there was no issues going on. A little bit of, there was an update on, it was a battle royale. Some players were reporting that they were getting frozen out of it. So that should also be resolved. So we've kind of done a lot of little fixes there. If you don't have the latest version, you will not have a lot of those fixes. So you may want to make sure you're up to date. And
it's always, and I'll interject here real quick, Sean. It's always really appreciated by us when players let us know some of the mobile bugs they're seeing. Mobile is a whole different kettle of fish. It's almost like we have two different teams on our end in terms of developing for the browser side of the game and the app. It's so different, and sometimes we'll see little hiccups based on what kind of phone you're using, if your phone's updated, things like that. So
exactly.
If you ever do have an issue with mobile in particular, don't assume that it's part of the game. You can definitely assume that, maybe there's something that needs to be fixed that we missed, or it might be you haven't updated to the newest version of the app. But we do work really hard to make sure that we fix little bugs like that and add little notifications and things like that. Our developers do a great job, and also our players do a great job of keeping us informed. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no, you're very right. If you guys, our players are really good at letting us know when they find a bug, and we try and jump on those right away. I am just quickly glancing because I do want to jump into the trivia kind of sooner, because I just kind of enjoy the trivia, but I am trying to look for some questions here. So one came in from Luca, which is it's feedback, and so he's wondering here, they'd like a chance to choose rewards in quests. So syndicate quests, faction quests, guild quests. Different is it now? I'm just quickly scanning this. So
what they would like to. Sorry, you go ahead, Chuck.
Okay. Yeah. So I was just gonna say. So right now, basically how the quest rewards work is everyone's getting these loot cases when they're done. The only kind of exception is the medium and hard quests. There's an extra reward payout of FP, and that is actually based on how much you contribute to the medium and hard quest. The easy quest does not have that FP payout, and one of the reasons is the easy quests are easy enough that some players wouldn't even be able to log on before their team has just completely crushed the easy quest, because they are easy by nature, right? And so the medium quest is where they could jump in, they could contribute, so they get some of the FP. And we're also finding that some players were doing the lion's share of the work, and they felt it was a bit unfair that the rewards, the FP rewards originally were random. They felt it wasn't fair that if they did all the work, they weren't getting kind of rewarded for that. So that's why that's kind of been changed to have, there is this how much you contribute reward, and then the rest is loot cases. However, the idea of having players, I guess, choose a reward and kind of work towards it, that's a pretty great idea. You know, we want to provide players with options, especially when it comes to gearing up. So it's definitely not something that we would ever kind of rule out right away. But it is one of those things that it's like, hey, that's a cool idea. We'll add it to our list, and then we basically do internal discussions. We talk about how can we design the feature for this, what's the layout look like, and there's like kind of a whole process that goes in behind it. And right now we're currently like pretty pedal to the metal working on a really big new feature, which we're not talking about here. That's not what this live stream is for. We will have a really big live stream to kind of talk about one of our big new features coming out that a lot of the team is working on. And so that's kind of the priority. And then after that, we basically work on every other, we call them quality of life. So if you have some suggestions or feedback that you want to see changed, that's like, we throw it into our essentially our queue, and then we just start working through the list. Right. Yeah, I think I covered that at least to the best of my degree. Right, Henry, did I miss anything there?
No, that sounds right for me. We often get really good suggestions from players, but sometimes the implementation will be really difficult. So the idea, for example, between switching your rewards on and off, that might work, but then we might run into issues about do we enable that to be adjusted mid quests, and the system might have a real hard time with that. If we allow people to choose before the event, what happens if they forget to choose? Then the system might not reward anyone FP. There's just a lot of factors we have to consider when we're putting in interesting ideas into it, something like that. We've also heard feedback on removing campers on raids, and we definitely understand why having a few spots on your raid boss filled up with players that aren't active is frustrating for sure. But we find that the idea or the power of just booting anybody would probably be more of a problem than what it is right now. So we have to really, really dig deep and find creative solutions that's going to work for everybody. And often we won't know the ramifications or the full ramifications of a feature change until maybe a player or a subset of players start playing in a way that we never even anticipated. It happens all the time. So it's not that we ignore players' suggestions or things like that. We implement a lot of them into the game, but some of them require a lot of thought and a lot of analysis. And then sometimes we just won't be able to do it, or we'll choose not to do it. But that doesn't mean that we don't appreciate players' suggestions. So thank you.
And maybe something kind of to hammer home is oftentimes if I write in and I have a suggestion where I'm like, oh, I don't like XYZ thing, there may be players on the other end saying, hey, I really like XYZ. And so it's a bit of that balancing act of where is the voice of the community? What is actually the consensus with everybody? And so that also adds a bit of the balancing act, because often, and they are really nice to see when tickets come in where someone's like, hey, the changes you made to this, I like this, and here's why. Those are great because it helps us know we're going in the right direction. However, do know that for every oh, I like this, there's also probably a, hey, I don't like this change. And that's just kind of the nature of balancing. And there have been times where we've reverted things, right? Where we've made a change and we're like, oh, this one didn't land at all. It's not at all how we planned. So we've gone and changed it, right? Or changed it back. So let me just quickly scan for more questions. Tom has one where he's basically talking about how we've recently changed sliders. So on raids, you can now go up to 200 energy, 200 stamina. And And he's feeling that a lot of the bigger accounts are being able to just completely destroy the raid, kill the raid, before everybody else has the time to get into the minimum. I can understand where you're coming from. I do think maybe that might be a bit of a how do you kind of, it's basically an issue that I don't think the 200 stamina sliders is maybe the core of that issue. And the reason being, it was 100 before, and it's just one extra tap and you're doing the same amount, right? So players who are committed to basically taking down a raid really quick, they're going to do it quickly. So the suggestion would be, when you open a raid, get your minimum right away, and then you can jump onto the next raid. If you're going to manage 5 to 10 raids kind of thing, I would get your minimums in right away, just so you at least have that there. And then once you've gotten your minimum, then you go back to your raid, or your first open raid, or one of your friends, and then you kind of plug through it with them. But with that said, that's a fair feedback, and maybe we do have to look into like what is the time to kill on raids now with the new change, and maybe we have to make some adjustments there, right? We're not dismissing that. I just wanted to maybe clear that up, that the 100 stamina and 100 energy, the design choice behind it is to basically help players do the same thing but with less actions, is essentially it. A lot of the mobile app especially is like that. So a lot of the design around the mobile app will be like that. So it's just to be a quicker, on the go, do a couple things, move on.
Well put, Sean. I think we had another question about players maybe accepting players before they join the raid. Best way to do that is just make your raid links private, and just sort of coordinate with your friends about, hey, join my raid or whatever. You want to be careful about sharing your raid maybe in world chat or rather in the jobs channel, just because anyone could join. But that's not a bad suggestion. We'll take that under consideration. Thank you for all your suggestions, players. This is great feedback.
Yeah, and I guess to wrap it up before we go, because we're going to move on to the trivia again. 1,000 FP given away. I want to get to it. But Ruth actually mentioned a really good thing of like, a really strong raider is someone who doesn't kill the raid before everybody can get their minimums in, right? And that's actually strikes at the kind of the core of a really good way to kind of like complete raids, is to work with a core group, and maybe have 4 or 5 members, and you all work together to make sure you're all kind of getting through your raids, especially because there's ways to guarantee the superior rewards, right? So the 2 ways, just to reiterate for anyone who is new here, the 2 ways to guarantee a superior reward. One is, if it is your first raid that you've opened of this kind of event, if that gets defeated, you get the superior reward. No matter as long as you've hit the minimum, you'll get it. So even if you weren't the top, you still get a superior reward on your first one. And additionally, you'll get one if you're the top in actions. That includes healing. So that's energy and stamina combined is your actions. So if you're the top actions, you'll be guaranteed a superior reward. So if you're working with a core group of friends, you could, if say there's 5 of you, you could easily manage, hopefully, that you're like, hey, this is my first one. So, Henry, please help me take this down, but you can hit the top, Henry. Because in that way, Henry gets a superior and then I get a superior. And then rinse, repeat. On Henry's one, I'm going to get the top actions and he's not. So then we both get superiors. That's kind of just like what we've seen a lot of really strong raiders do. They spread the love, basically. But yeah, so I don't want to talk too much more about raids. I feel like I could go on for a little bit longer, but I do want to get into the wonderful trivia time.
All right, I'm down for trivia, and I know everyone here will be too, because this time they're going to be able to make some friends for sure if they haven't already, or make their existing friends happy.
We've already seen some comments of 1 or 2 players who are like, "Hey, if I win, who wants it?" And then they'll hopefully trade. So hopefully they can both grab some wins. So today in trivia, here's the lowdown. There's going to be 10 questions. There's going to be 50 favorite points if you win the question. Plus, you can choose a friend who's also going to win 50 favorite points. It does not matter which game they're on. It does not matter which game you're on. If you've won a question as well, you can only win once. So if you've won, it's over. But all your friends could win and all choose you. If you were just the real core of the team and everybody's like, well, I want to give more to Henry, and everybody can choose you, you could win multiple times. With that said, it's going to be a general kind of trivia, but I have thrown in 4 questions, 1 for each game. So there's a specific Zombie Slayer, a specific Viking clan, a specific Pirate clan, and a specific LCN question for you. And that way, hopefully, it spreads the love a little bit more for you guys. So let's get started. First question is going to me, Henry. I'm taking it.
Let's do it.
What mythical character is a symbol of Valentine's Day? What mythical character?
It's not Sean. It's not Sean or I, because we are not mythical creatures or characters, rather.
It's often depicted with little wings, kind of like a baby man.
There we go. Boom.
Already in.
I think we've got some. I think we've got it.
The answer is Cupid, and I'm not gonna lie. After looking in a little bit more about Cupid, it's very strange that he's the god of love as well as a baby. It's a really weird choice.
It's strange. It's strange. The Romans and Greeks had some ideas.
Okay, second question, Henry. This is going to you.
All right, everyone. So now that we've established that Cupid is the mythical character who is the symbol of Valentine's Day, but can you tell me what Cupid's name was in Greek mythology? So we're looking for the Greek counterpart. Cupid's name in Greek mythology?
This is a deep cut. This is a tough one. However,
a few trivia questions that like relate to another trivia question.
Yeah, I did a little bit of a theme situation, so
yes, there we go. Oh, and I think we got it.
But did they already win?
I think no, I don't think so.
All right. I'm seeing the answer. I'm firing it away. Here it is. It's Eros. Eros? Eros. Henry, how do you say that? Fire away.
You know, I wish I knew, because I've been playing a bunch of Hades, the excellent roguelike action video game, but I don't actually know if Eros or Cupid are in the game. I forgot. I think it's Eros, but I could be wrong.
Autocorrect. Okay, question number 3.
What was the? Hang on. What was the autocorrect?
Oh, it's almost like
Erotus. Yeah.
Gotta love the.
Yeah. If you autocorrect during trivia is not a good idea.
Their autocorrect went Eros to Zeus. So it's like, is that the god you meant?
Thanks a lot, autocorrect. Yeah. You cost me 25 FP. All right, buddy. What's question 3?
Question number 3. Here we go. What does Cupid use to make others fall in love? I'm going to tell you right now, it's not his devilishly good looks. It's not a love potion.
It's not his charm.
Not his charm. It's not his singing voice. He's not a siren.
I think we.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, we got the right answers here.
Arrows, gold-tipped arrows, I believe. That's question number 4. On to you, Henry. So, oh, by the way, before we go on to question 4, if you've won, we will message you, and we'll physically message you, and then ask you to provide us your friend's ID and your ID. Just gonna clear that up. If anyone's wondering why we're not maybe giving you the FP right away. Your move, Henry. Question number 4.
Okay. Question number 4. This was an interesting one. Where was the oldest known Valentine's Day message sent from? Where was the oldest known Valentine's Day message sent from? We will accept a city or a specific building, perhaps, that it was sent from. You might have to do some Google searching to find this, because I don't know many people that would know this off the top of their head. This is pretty interesting, Sean.
I did not know this, and I did just put the actual city itself, because I felt the other one was too deep. It was like very difficult for people to find. So the answer is that I'm seeing the answer come in.
Yeah, we got the answer.
So the answer is London, but it was specifically sent from a prison. And it was a letter on Valentine's Day sent. Yeah, and I believe one of the lines in it was a poem, and one of the lines was like, "I'm sick of love already," and it was like, oh, that doesn't sound like a good poem.
No, although I mean, to be fair, they wrote it a long time ago in a prison in London, so I imagine the conditions were not the most romantic.
That's fair, but they're
yeah. Well, I guess is that me now? Question 5, or is
no?
that you?
I'm question 5. You were question 4.
No, that's you. You're on question 5. You're on question 5. I beg your pardon.
Question number 5. When was the oldest known Valentine's Day message written? So if you have that Google page up, if you Googled it, it'll probably say right on that page when it was sent.
We're looking for a year. What year?
Oh yeah, I guess not February 14th. That's not the answer.
No. We can't accept February 14th.
When?
Although, you know what? Who
Valentine's Day.
knows? It might have been a different day back then. Who knows? All right, I think we're seeing the answers now.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm seeing it in 1415. So I'm not gonna lie, I don't know the literacy rate back then. So would everyone have even been able to read it? That would have, that's a high class
Yeah,
person from prison.
that's a good question.
That was
I'm not sure.
That was a high class person in prison writing a message to presumably.
I'm surprised the Valentine didn't say like roses are red, violets are blue. Get me the hell out of this prison right now. Like it should have been like instructions on how to like break me out of this prison. Which I guess is kind of romantic.
It's really romantic if she went ahead and did it. The jailbreak happened.
Yeah.
Okay, question 6, Henry. This one's on for you.
Now we did mention this if any of our players were with us on the preamble, we did mention this. But in which country is Valentine's Day known as Friends Day, which is just great? In what country is Valentine's Day known as Friends Day?
We mentioned it first. It's a lovely place to visit. They have, cold weather. It's snowing right now where we are, like a little bit of snow. So they're probably experiencing the same thing.
So we are seeing a right answer, but that person may have already won.
I was just going to say,
answer.
I think the person who answered right has already won, so we can't choose you.
So we want to make sure. If you know it, put it in there. Okay, I'm sure.
I'm seeing it a couple times, yeah. So in
great.
Finland, fun fact, I believe it is also in Spain. They have a Friends Day, so that could confuse people. But the answer was Valentine's Day is known as Friends Day in Finland. That is that's what I was going for. Question number 7.
I like that.
I believe. Hey, we're on to the game specific ones. So the best way to win these: boot up your game. Get ready. I'm going to ask a specific question. You might have to hunt and peck for it, or you might just know it off the top of your head. Here we go. Question number 7. This one. In Mob Wars LCN, in the Valentine's crates, what item has the highest attack? In Mob Wars LCN, in the Valentine's crate, what items have the highest attack?
I can hear the clicks now.
I know.
People rushing to go check out the crates.
What's the item name, I should say? There it is. I'm seeing the answer. Have they won already, though? Okay. I'm seeing a couple. I think one of these people have won. But just to be safe, if you have already won, it's not going to count. So if someone copies your answer, it's going to be awesome for them because you've already won. So here it is. The answer is the love bow. Cupid's bow.
I really hope someone put love boat and it wasn't autocorrect. They're like, no, it should be love boat. And I agree. I think it'd be a pretty powerful weapon to use if someone's up in your grill and all of a sudden you pull out the love boat. That would definitely diffuse the situation.
Gosh, what a song. It's already in my head. I can already hear that song. Oh, that's an earworm. Question number 8, Henry, this one's to you.
Okay, I hope we have some Viking Clan players in the chat here. We've got quite a few players with us. Thank you all for joining. You're saying, get on with the trivia. And I say, okay, question 8. For Viking Clan in the Valentine's crates, what item has the highest defense? So we're looking for the Viking Clan Valentine's crates. It's a bit of a tongue twister. What item has the highest defense is what we're looking for.
Here's a fun little hack for you. If you have a Viking Clan account, you can still check it, and you can give us your account to any other game if you chose. If you can jump in and still win these questions if you haven't won already. You just jump into the game, check out the crate. Maybe the next questions aren't about crates. Maybe they're about bosses. You don't know.
Man, I gotta say, Karen has already won. So she's not eligible for this particular win, but I think she has gotten almost every single one right. Karen, wherever you are on fire. You keep it up.
Yeah, I've seen a couple people answer almost every trivia with pretty much the right answer. So
yeah, pretty much my copy what Karen says.
I've seen the answer. It is correct, but I'm seeing people who've already won use the right answer.
Yeah, everyone type it in. If you're not sure if you won yet or not, you got to type it in.
There it is. Okay, I'm seeing it from people who I don't think have won yet. So there it is. Put it on screen.
Great.
Whew. Also, you know, you just throw it in there. Who knows? Maybe all the people they've already guessed, you know? Okay. Question number 9. This one's for me. And this one is also for the pirates in my life. The Pirate
Yarr.
Clan. In Pirate Clan, in the Valentine's crates, once again, what is the available legendary ship called? What is the name of the ship?
And perhaps it would be appropriate for Valentine's Day. It seems like it. In fact, the answer is very similar to the Love Boat, kind of.
It's not the Love Boat, but it's very similar.
It's not the Love Boat, but it is something close to that.
Hey. Rum Runner, that's pretty
So a bunch of people just put Love Boat.
Just do it.
Just make all the answers Love Boat. I think we do have a couple of right answers.
I'm seeing it here. Okay. It was the Heart Cruiser. Aw. Cruising around in a sailboat. Now that's a date idea, Henry, and you could do that 6 feet apart, or at least in your bubble if you owned a boat, which I don't.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey Chuck, in terms of a delay, it's just because when we bonus out Trivia FP, we have to connect which account you are and things like that. So we'll reach out to you if you've won, and we'll try and do that as soon as possible.
Yeah. Last question of the trivia. Here it is, Henry. This one's for you.
I hope we have some Zombie Slayer players in attendance because this one pertains to that particular game. For Zombie Slayer in the Valentine's crates, you're seeing a theme here. What item has the highest attack? In the Valentine's crates for Zombie Slayer, what item has the highest attack? And guys, this is our last trivia question. So if you haven't won one yet, or you don't think you've won yet, make sure to answer. Yelp. The answer is not Yelp. But that's a good one. I like that. That's what I say when I see a question I don't know the answer to. Yelp. All right, not seeing the correct
Gosh, some of these
answer
answers
yet.
are great.
I know they're very appropriately themed with Zombie Slayer. We almost saw the right answer, but there might have been a typo.
Bit of a typo. Also, they've won already. So
I like googly eyes. Shane, you're coming up with some good answers, even though they're not the right ones. I like that. Googly eyes should be our next attack item. That'll scare the zombies.
This is also in Zombie Slayer. Oh, I guess it says right in the thing there. In Zombie Slayer, I'm seeing the answer, and I feel like maybe they've won, but I'm gonna post it on screen. So type it out if you see it. Here it is.
I think we have enough. I think we have enough people that said it. Yeah.
Gift of Love was the answer. Yeah, some of you were really good at trivia, or just quick. You know, some of you are lightning quick at getting these ones.
They could be both. And then Sean, I know we haven't mentioned it, but are we going to do the usual? If you like, comment, and share, maybe someone might be able to win some extra FP there.
Yeah. So I guess I didn't throw it in there, but I typically try and say it off the top of my head. But what we do as well. So we're done trivia. We've done the updates. We've talked about the raid. We've talked about the sale. We've talked about the piggy bank. But we did also want to say, if you've commented, and if you share this video, you'll be entered to win 200 FP, but chosen by me. I wait a couple days to let people, because not everybody can see it live, so a lot of people will come after the fact. So I give them a chance to win some FP as well. So if they like, comment, and subscribe, this includes anyone who's won trivia. I'll choose just one person who's done all 3 of those, and then 200 FP or UN if you're in Zombie Slayer, bonus out to you for free for watching the show. That is also, we do a lot of giveaways on our Facebook page. If you guys haven't been keeping up to date or checking out, I think the last week we gave away like 300 FP in each game. So if you're not checking out our Facebook page for our regular contests, you really should. Because it's just an easy way to win some FP that you can use in the games. And then watching live streams obviously also helps, and I really appreciate you guys tuning in. And I know this setup in a little apartment is not ideal, but when we get back to the office, Henry, we'll be side by side, and you'll be on video, and it'll be great.
One of these days, buddy. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Shane's asking one. We will don't call us. We'll call you. You can always send in a ticket to see, but yeah, we usually reach out proactively just to make sure that that people won. So as Sean said, it might take a day or so just to make sure that that we're finalizing everything correctly and we've got all the correct winners, and then we will work with you guys to make sure that that you know. And one thing to keep in mind. We should mention this every live stream actually is make sure you check your inboxes, your email inboxes for our replies.
Yeah.
If you're not getting anything from us, we typically respond to tickets usually within 24 to 48 hours. If you're not, the odds are that especially if you're on something like Hotmail or Yahoo, they might automatically blacklist our emails. So make sure that you add us to the whitelist. Make sure you drag our emails into your inbox, check your junk and spam folders, do everything we can because we are responding to you. If we're getting a higher volume of tickets, it may take a little bit longer, but I promise you we won't outright ignore players if they send in a ticket. We pride ourselves on answering. At least we may not be able to help you right away, but yeah, keep that in mind as well. So Shane, we will get back to all the winners, and if you don't see our response and you think you're owed a response, make sure to check your junk and spam folder.
And so yeah, just to clarify, I see a couple more questions. So Liz mentions where do you send the message? We actually will send it in the live stream here. We'll just reply to your comment and we'll say you've won, great, and then you just send us a direct message. And in the direct message, if some players they'll try and use their link and it won't work, instead just your account ID works. So you'll find your account ID on your player profile page and you'll see it there, and you just kind of give us your digits, if you will. And yeah, that's it. That's the show. Trivia. You can win 200 more FP if like, comment, and share. And that's it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Henry, for joining me in these. It's always
thank you.
A pleasure to have someone else.
For, right back at you, buddy. It's great to be here. And thank you to all our players for supporting our games and having fun and joining the live stream. We hope to see you on the next one in a couple of weeks or so.
Take care, everybody. See you soon.